So there's the well, you don't need to know why versus yeah, sometimes we do need to know why. What did constellations legitimize for you that you were already sensing about your own development?
Hmm. Can you tell me more about the question?
Constellations are so you're the way you've described it is naming what is that we haven't already been aware of.
Yeah.
And you came across this methodology
Uh-huh.
of representing something in 3D to
Yeah.
understand the relationships between the parts.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if when you came across constellations, how did that resonate with what you were already sensing in your own development in terms
Yeah.
of being able to see a system?
Yeah. So what really pulled me to constellations was what I could see it could do for my clients, and it has transformed my own life. So what comes to mind is like why I want what it was like, oh wow. Like why the oh wow, why was I pulled to do it? What I had kept hearing, not that often, but sometimes clients like telling old stories. And I would, refer them to a therapist but I was like, what can I do to help in this? Like it might not need long-term therapy. It might just need something. And when I saw constellations, I was like, okay, I think that can help. I'm always going to, right? And I'm always in some training, but the training is based on, okay, what's my learning edge? That's what I find really exciting. Like, what is my learning edge as a practitioner? And what is that piece? Also, another thing that kind of delegitimized something that I had preached for years and still believe for the most part, but it's nuanced now, is that, my clients, the number one word they say that they want when they come to me is clarity. And that might be clarity, but they're burned out. And what do I do next? It might be conflict and clarity. How do I respond to this? Right. And I would say, and they would often ask the question, why am I doing this thing? Right. Why am I acting in this way? It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm doing the things I don't want to do. I'm not doing the things I want to do. And I would say, you don't need to know why. You just need to know what you want and take steps toward it. And that is true, like maybe 70, 80% of the times. Like that is actually really true a lot of the times. But then there would be times where people were like, they'd be stuck in the same things. And what I've discovered over the years of practicing and studying constellations is that sometimes we do need to point to the past. Sometimes we do need to see what happened that started this trajectory of stuckness or this pattern within my organization or my family. And so it actually, I don't say that. I don't preach anymore. You don't need to know why. You don't need to look at the past. A lot of times we don't, but sometimes we do. And that's not what first drew me to constellations, but but it's been a really important learning over the years.
So there's the well, you don't need to know why versus yeah, sometimes we do need to know why.
Yeah.
How do you know which way to go?
Well, first of all, I love the two hands. It just makes me think of polarities and like the knowing and the not knowing. And polarities are a key pattern that often keep like the not seeing of the two sides that often keep people stuck in conflict. So I love that. How do I know which way to go? I know because my clients typically experience pretty quick movement forward, right? It's not like they go from being confused to having the job right away, but they're doing the practices. They're like, oh, I discovered this thing. I had that really good conversation. Oh, this it's all the baby gates that I say, like the little decisions, the little choices over time. People are in movement, but if they're not, if like there's a thing that they keep bringing to multiple sessions, that's the priority, but they're not moving forward with it. That's not that's not the typical thing. So I know that there's something else that we haven't seen.